In the heart of a vibrant city that never slept, a group of girls shared a modest hostel. Even under the cover of night, the city buzzed with activity. Neon lights danced off glass buildings, and streets bustled with people working late shifts. The city lived as much by night as it did by day. One girl in particular, newly arrived from a quiet town, found comfort in this energy. It gave her a false sense of security in the darkness she once feared. But her nights were not peaceful. Despite the lights and crowds, she battled sleeplessness and haunting nightmares. Growing up in a small town where families lived like one big community, her world had been simple and safe. The people were kind, content with little, and filled with genuine love for each other. Greed, jealousy, and competition were foreign concepts to her. In the city, however, she quickly realized life was different. People always seemed to want more wealth, more status, yet remained hollow inside. Even those with everything were plagued by dissatisfaction. Crime lingered in the shadows of prosperity, and she couldn't shake the discomfort of how easily people could harm each other out of envy or need. But she stayed, determined to fulfill her parents' dream of seeing her independent and successful. Thankfully, her roommate made city life bearable. The two quickly bonded. They ate dinner together, talked late into the night, and spent weekends exploring the city. The girl slowly adjusted. Her nightmares faded. Life, though fast-paced and imperfect, began to feel okay. Until everything changed. One evening, her roommate, once kind and gentle, turned cold. She began asking strange, probing questions. "How wealthy are you? Why is your skin so dark? What do you own that's valuable?" Her voice was sharp, her gaze unfamiliar. Shocked and hurt, the girl assumed it was workplace stress and tried to talk to her, offering a listening ear. But her friend dismissed her with a glare, as though they were strangers. Disturbed, the girl barely slept. But to her surprise, the next day her friend was back to normal, warm, cheerful, and loving. Relieved, she forgave her, thinking it had just been a bad day. But the cycle repeated. Every few days, her roommate would transform, cruel, judgmental, and prideful, only to revert to her old self by morning. Friends at the hostel and co-workers began noticing too. Whispers grew. The girl couldn't ignore it anymore. She started observing closely and discovered something strange. Her friend's behavior changed only when she wore a certain bracelet. A beautiful, ornate piece that seemed to draw everyone's eyes. Determined to help her friend, the girl tried to get rid of the bracelet. One day, while her roommate was away, she took it and threw it away, far from their hostel. She returned feeling victorious. The nightmare would end. But the next morning, the bracelet was back on her roommate's wrist. Confused and alarmed, she asked, "Do you have another bracelet like that?" "I'd love to wear one to work." Her friend's eyes darkened, her voice turned venomous. "This is one of a kind. It's mine." Then she stormed off, leaving the girl shaken. More convinced than ever that the bracelet was the cause, the girl searched for answers. Her friend had a habit of collecting unique jewelry, so she traced the bracelet's origin. Eventually, she learned it had been purchased from a second-hand auction site. She followed the seller's information to the outskirts of the city, where she found a weathered old house. An elderly man answered the door. Confused by her visit, he asked, "Who are you? Why have you come here?" With determination, she told him everything. At first, he denied it, but her sincerity moved him. Finally, he sighed and said, "Yes, it was me who sold the bracelet. And yes, it's cursed." The girl's heart sank. He explained, "The bracelet once belonged to a queen from the 18th century, a woman infamous for her jealousy and greed. Though married to a kind king, the queen herself was vain, ruthless, and consumed by envy. If someone owned something beautiful, she had to have something better. She craved praise not for who she was, but for what she owned. Her love was transactional, her kindness conditional. The king eventually distanced himself, ruling the kingdom while leaving her to her self-obsession. When the queen died, her dark essence, her envy, her arrogance, clung to the bracelet she wore most. Over generations, the bracelet passed through hands, spreading its poison to those who wore it. My wife found it years ago, the old man continued. After that, she changed. Friends drifted away. Her moods became erratic. She's now in a psychiatric hospital, tormented by hallucinations, still talking about the bracelet. That's when I knew I had to get rid of it. The girl, shaken but grateful, asked if anyone knew how to break the curse. The old man mentioned a priest who had once identified the bracelet's dark power. Guided by hope, she traveled to the priest's temple in a quiet town nearby. The priest listened quietly, then studied the girl. "You have a rare heart," he said. "Selfless, loving, untainted by greed. You, child, are the answer." He handed her the bracelet. "Only a pure soul can overcome the darkness within this. Wear it, and if your light is strong, it will purify what lies within." The girl didn't hesitate. Back at the hostel, while her friend was away, she wore the cursed bracelet. Instantly, she felt it, a rush of arrogance, a wave of superiority, a flicker of envy. But she held on. She closed her eyes and thought of her hometown, of her kind neighbors, of people who celebrated others' joys and shared their sorrows. She thought of equality, of contentment, of genuine human warmth. Her thoughts blazed with light. The darkness trembled. And then, a searing heat. The bracelet burned bright for a moment, then cooled. The curse, dissolved by her unshakable goodness, was gone. What remained was a simple, elegant piece of jewelry, harmless and pure. The priest, sensing the change from afar, smiled. "If only the world had more hearts like hers," he whispered. From that day on, the bracelet harmed no one. The girl's friend returned to her true self, confused at what had happened, but grateful. Their bond was restored, stronger than ever. And so, through love, courage, and kindness, a curse born of greed was broken. Now you know what love, kindness, and determination can do. The choice, always, is yours.